TIFU by hiding a marzipan-filled condom in the wall as a teenager, and now my family thinks my dad put it there. This has been bugging a little bit for years now, and I feel like I gotta get it off my chest. So when I was a teenager, our house was getting renovated, and I was helping out with putting up new panels on the walls. And for whatever reason, I came up with this dumb prank. I took a double condom, teenage curiosity, and instead of doing anything normal with them, I filled they with marzipan. Still not sure why, but I thought it was funny as hell at the time. I tied it up, now looking like a marzipan dildo, and before I sealed up the wall, I put it on top of a stud inside together with a thong, panty that I had collected from a home party. Then I covered the wall up, and I just kinda forgot about it. Fast forward like 20 years, my brother buys the house from my parents and decides to do some renovations too. He rips down that same wall and guess what? He finds the old, crusty marzipan condom and a red thong. Now, here's where it gets really awkward. No one has any idea it was me, and everyone in the family thinks it was my dad who put it there during the original renovation. My brother and our sisters have had full-on conversations trying to figure out why he would have put a condom in the wall. Like, was it a weird joke? Some creepy keepsake? They even speculated if maybe it was used for something? For the last 3 years, I've just kept my mouth shut while they've tried to solve this mystery. It's come up at family dinners and gather-ins, and always I'm sitting there knowing the whole time that it was just my stupid teenage self trying to be funny. I kinda feel bad for letting it go on this long, especially since our dad is not with us anymore, but I also can't help but laugh every time they bring it up. Maybe one day I'll fess up, but for now, it's too funny to watch them try to figure it out. But it also is a fug up. Because I have kept it a secret for 3 years now. Why would I tell the truth now? That would make me an idiot for putting this dark story on our dad. Update. First off, thank you, Reddit, for the overwhelming response on my first post. So many people encouraged me to come clean and tell my family the truth. I was made to believe that by telling the truth I could finally put this to rest and maybe get a few laughs. Instead, I triggered another family drama, disappointed my mom over wasted marzipan, and now I'm sure the entire town soon will know that I'm the idiot who made a homemade dildo by stuffing a condom with marzipan and hiding inside the wall of our house as a prank, blaming it on my deceased dad. Here's how it all went down. I was at my brother's, and since it was just us, I figured this was time to finally tell the truth. I started, remember that weird dildo you found in the wall? And the thong? He looked at me, confused and disturbed, so I went on. It was me. I put it there as a joke. Like an Easter egg for someone to find later. I made a fake dildo by filling a condom with marzipan, tossed in a thong I'd picked up at a party, and stuffed them in the wall during construction. He looked stunned, like he couldn't quite decide if he wanted to laugh or yell. You just let us all think it was Dad's? You let us go on with those theories about Dad? And what the hell, you actually stuffed a condom with marzipan and made yourself a dildo, you little perv weirdo? I defended myself. I explained that they were the ones who jumped to those wild conclusions about Dad. Sure, it was a weird thing to find, but it was their idea to blame Dad. But my brother was clearly horrified, not so much over the prank itself but that I'd let the family believe all these years that Dad had stashed away such items. As joke I think it was funny the first months after discovery, but I understand now why it was wrong of me to keep the joke running for so long. Dad is passed away without a chance to clear his name, and my siblings had filled in the blanks. The thong was small, definitely not what you'd expect on a woman his age, so they'd speculated that he might have been up to something on the side. My sister Anne, in particular, was disgusted by the idea that Dad might have had a whole secret sex life. Later that day, my brother told Anne, who called me and was furious. Told something like, "You made us think Dad had some kind of hidden sex life." She practically spitted through the phone. She was in disbelief that I could do such a thing. She is always full of drama. This is just one of many times she's been angry at my. She called me a perv and a lot of ugly stuff. Anyhow. The next day I went over to confess to Mom, but by the time I got there, the news had already reached her. I braced for disappointment, thinking she'd be most upset about the toll this had taken on Dad's memory. Instead, she went in a completely different direction. My mom has been getting a bit older lately, and things are starting to stick with her a little differently. As soon as I stepped in, she hit me with, "Why on God's earth would you waste good marzipan?" Mom grew up during a time when nothing went to waste. She's always been frugal, and with age, this trait has become even stronger. She started listing all the proper uses for marzipan, cake, confetti, desserts, while I just sat there, waiting for her to acknowledge that Dad was cleared from all suspicion. I tried to steer the conversation, saying, "Mom, aren't you relieved to know Dad didn't have some secret stash?" She nodded absently, but still seemed more horrified about the wasted marzipan than the fact that her husband's memory had been vindicated. And I apologized. I told her I was genuinely sorry for the pain this caused and for letting things go on as long as they did. She looked at me and accepted the apology, but it was still clear that my choice of ingredient to make a dildo haunted her more than anything else. To top it off, I thought Mom would at least keep this revelation to herself. Nope. Turns out she'd shared the mystery with her friends, my aunt, and even some neighbors who'd been following the case for years. Now, of course, she felt obligated to update them. I'm pretty sure it's only a matter of time before the whole town knows about the idiot son who made a dildo of marzipan and hid it inside the wall together with a small thong, blaming it all on his own dad. Honestly, this whole thing feels like an absolute disaster. I keep thinking of how Dad would have been the one to smooth this over and get everyone to laugh again. Ironically, he's the one who always kept this family balanced without all the drama. But he's gone, and I've somehow managed to turn a harmless prank into a mess no one seems willing to laugh off. Edit, talked to my other sister, Catherine, last night. She forgave me and even gave me a big hug. Mom's already done the same. It's nice to know not everyone thinks I'm a complete idiot.